Good evening, and welcome to Motivational Monday with me, your girl, Jackie O. And boy, do we have a show in store for you on this evening with none other than the fabulous, beautiful, amazing, phenomenal. There's so many titles that we can give her, Dr. Sundra Ryce Hardy. And so, again, welcome to Motivational Monday with Jackie O. Motivational Monday is all about inspiring and motivating women to live healthy and well lives. We bring on women from all over the world and all different industries to talk about their journeys, different things that they have going on. We have talked about parenting, mental wellness, postpartum, marriages, you name it. We have talked about it here on Motivational Monday. And so tonight, again, we are really excited to have our very special guest, Dr. Sundra Ryce Hardy, who will be joining us in just a moment. But before we get started with Dr. Sundra, I wanted to share with you some women entrepreneurs. We like to spotlight some of our favorites, women entrepreneurs during our show so that you can see what's going on with some of these amazing women. So of course we have me, Jackie O, and I have a skincare line and it is all organics. It's called Glow by Jackie O. You can find us on Instagram and YouTube at Jackie O, at Facebook, Jackie O Blog, and our website is JackieO.com. You can find all types of great information, not only our skincare, but our Motivational Monday, as well as our new cookie show. So check us out, JackieO.com. And Anar Gourmet Foods. Anar Gourmet Foods is out of Pennsylvania. If you like Indian food, you will absolutely love Anar Gourmet Foods seasoning packets. It is all gluten-free, all natural. I have tried pretty much all of them myself, so I can tell you they're absolutely fabulous. And then Savvy. Savvy is a lifestyle brand, and I'm telling you, I have some of the items. I don't know, y'all probably seen me with the little blue hoodie as well as some leggings just the other day. Super comfortable. Dr. Sherry Hayes, she is stationed out in Japan. However, you can order from her and she will drop ship it to you. And y'all, you need to get you some Savvy, okay? And then there's Miss Sophie Van Boris. She has Chick Ink, and it is handmade alcohol ink homeware. She has coasters and art and all types of neat things. So check her out as well. We'll be sharing these at the end. We'll share it again so you can get their information. All right. So are y'all ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? We are bringing on now, welcome Dr. Sundra Ryce Hardy. Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Well, I am doing well. Thank you so much for being a guest here on our show. Thank you to everyone that is tuned in. And guys, as we're going how to work, if you have comments, if you have questions along the way, just put them in the comment section and we will do our best to get to them. But again, good evening and thank you so much for joining us. So, Dr. Sundra, you're no stranger to me, of course. You're no stranger to me. Dr. Sundra is my first cousin, and let me tell you, she is absolutely phenomenal. I admire her and everything that she has done and accomplished, and everything that she's still accomplishing. So we're going to hop right in, and I'm going to have you introduce yourself to everyone and tell us a little bit about you.
Hello, everyone. I'm so happy to be here. So happy to be with my first cousin, Jackie, who's always so fabulous, always doing fabulous things. She's just an entrepreneur extraordinaire, and she's been that way all of my life. She's my big cousin, and I've always admired her passion, everything she's done. And so, first of all, I want to thank you for having me. Thank you so much for who you are, and a little bit about what I do. So I am a real estate developer. I'm an entrepreneur. I've been in the industry, construction industry, for about 27 years now, and doing this in corporate leadership. I'm a consultant. I consult for companies and organizations nationally and internationally. Love all things real estate, love building. And also, I know we're going to talk about it. My husband is a pastor of churches, and so I get to do ministry with him. And we have a fabulous women's ministry that I get to lead with a great group of women. And we love what we do regionally in this area. And we're in the Baton Rouge, Louisiana area.
All right, all right. Well, with that being said, and you are a pastor's wife, did you ever imagine, like in your wildest dreams, that you would be in this role, a pastor's wife, leading a thriving women's ministry? Like, did you just, did you imagine that?
No, I never imagined it, never thought about it. But I'm so happy that, God has chosen me for this position, and I don't take it lightly. I'm honored that God trusts me to steward this level, of ministry and women and people, because I love God's people, no matter what I'm doing, no matter if I'm in the marketplace or if I'm in ministry. And I've always done both. I've always been in ministry, but now, like you said, I'm in a different level of ministry, being a pastor's wife.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, that's a totally different ball game there.
Yes, ma'am.
Sundra, what benefits have you received from your leadership experience in corporate America, and how have you, transferred that into your role in ministry? Because I know you said that you've always been in ministry, but now this is a different role that you have. So how have you transferred that over?
Yeah. So, like I said, I would say I always had two mantles. So I had marketplace, and then that, the spiritual part as well, ministry. But, what I've learned probably in the last 5 years, that it's not two. Like I would always say, I have two, I have a dual mantle, but really it's one mantle, because, God is marketplace, God is ministry. He's in the 7 mountains of influence. He's, everything. He's in entrepreneurship, he's in business, he's in entertainment, he's in, and he needs his people to be representatives in all of those areas of influence. He needs the kingdom of God represented. So, for me, one of the big things that I think I've transferred is, all things leadership, really being a strong, effective leader, wherever I am, standing up, being a fearless leader, being courageous, actually, if I have a task or a strategic plan, I execute it here like I would do in corporate America. So just being able to transfer those types of things has been, really great for me, because I've been able to really use my leadership in both areas very fluidly.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And that leads me to my next question about your leadership style. So you really kind of told us a little bit about your style. So what is your leadership style?
Well, I'm actually a transformational leader. I believe in transforming, whether I'm dealing with organizations, like I said, ministry, or people, women. I love to see people excel and be well. So I'm always pushing people for greatness and pushing people to operate in that level of the spectacular, so I love to see transformation. I love to see people grow, evolve, develop, and move, and actually experience their full potential. Always evolving, but experience their full potential.
That's good. That's good. And now that you're in this role of leading women in a women's ministry, and we know that there are different ministries in the church, and all ministries, everything is important to make the body work and for the kingdom to go forward. But in women's ministry, we know that I guess because we're women, that's a special ministry. How important is it for us to have women ministries in our churches?
I think it's very important, because women are, I believe, the backbone of a lot of organizations, of a lot of ministries. And a lot of times you have more women in ministry than men, or in your church, in your congregation. And that's across the board. If you look at statistics in churches, nationally, worldwide, the majority is going to be women. So it's important to have, thriving women's ministries and supportive groups and supportive experiences for women to help them grow and develop, evolve, and help them to learn how to be the architects of their lives and live lives powerfully. So it's important that we have that level of, support in our churches across the country.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And I before I moved to the Denton area, I worked for a church in Austin, and for about 6 years, almost 7 years, and they had a thriving women's ministry. And what I noticed too is that when we go through different things, different challenges in our lives, that women's ministry is there because those women, they have built that community. They're there to, if you've had a baby, to bring some food, if there's a death, whatever it is, that community is there. And, it's really important to have that type of community. It's important to have community, period, but especially in the women's.
Yeah, because it's a powerful community and it's a community of connection. And as women, we need connection. Connection is really, really important for us to thrive. And so, we had an event on Saturday because we're doing all things actually marketplace. And it was so amazing that, the women just, after we fellowshipped and we had food and we had an amazing event, the women still connected for I think 5 or 6 hours. I got calls at 6 p.m. and they were like, we're just finishing up and we're just, because that connection is so important because that's how we live. That's how we keep moving because life happens to all of us. Life happens to us. Like you said, whether it's a baby, whether it's a trauma, whether it's a tragedy, whether it's, children graduating, we need each other. And one thing we do in one of our key core values in our women's ministry is women celebrated. We love to celebrate women. I mean, we love to celebrate each other because that is so important, in our lives as women, as you were saying.
Yeah. And that's good. That's good that you celebrate women. That is so important. Okay. Hey, we have, Cheska, she's another one of our cousins. She says, here for it. Greetings from Seattle. Thank you for joining, Cheska. And even Brenda, my sister, cousin, Brenda, thank you so much for joining. We have, let's see who else has commented. Michelle Curry, good evening, good evening. Thank you, ladies. And again, everyone else that's tuned in. Thank you guys for tuning in. So staying in that vein with the women's ministry, have you had any type of experience, any type of barriers in ministry as a woman and, going forward?
Well, I think, and I was actually thinking about this earlier. I think, again, whether you're in corporate America, whether you're in the church, there are barriers. And I would say, I grew up in a very, and we all, I won't mention any names, but we kind of grew up in a legalistic organization, growing up where it's legalistic. This is how you have to do it. It has to look like this. And women do this. And women, as I think as we've grown and as we've evolved and as the church has evolved, and when you look biblically, Jesus counted on women and he needed women in ministry. And so I would say, Jacquie, there are barriers. There are still barriers, just like there's still, racism and sexism in the world. It's real. But, I'm grateful and thankful for, pastors and leaders who really push women. Like I know my husband, Dr. Lawrence Hardy, I love him, shout out to him. He really pushes me to be great. He pushes the women to be great. And I know several pastors like that. And I am so thankful for those pastors who want to see the women be great, want to see the women thrive, not just in the church, not just spiritually, but holistically, being a whole person, a whole woman. So again, yes, there are still barriers, but I think we've made a lot of progress. Even, I would say in the last, 10, 15 years, I've seen a lot of progress. I work with a lot of leaders, high-level leaders across the country, and I work with a lot of spiritual leaders, and I've seen a lot of progress, and I think it's amazing.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. We have come a long way. Sundra, with that, there can be discouragement along the way. And how do you handle that? If you just get discouraged because you're trying to get something going or just discouragement, period. How do you handle being discouraged in ministry? And this is a twofold question. And your women that you lead, if they're discouraged, how do you encourage them and, keep them going?
Yeah. Well, the first part I think is what we're talking about. It's women celebrated. It's women connecting. It's so important for me. If I'm ever discouraged, one thing I don't do, and I've done this being in business for years, I do not allow myself to get proverbially back in the back corner of an alley by myself. So I actually phone a friend. I actually phone a friend. And if I'm going through something, I make sure I have the right people on my mountain, and you have to make sure that it's so important that you have the right people in your circle, your mastermind group, and those people who love and support you and who will tell you the truth, not just those people who will agree with you, the yes men and yes women, but those who will tell you the truth. I have one friend who, has told me for years, she's like, you may not like me tomorrow. I don't know, but here's what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you the truth. Here's what. So, just having the right people in my circle, the right people, and calling and phoning a friend, that's number one. Of course, prayer, and, keeping myself, motivated and lifted. Like David had to encourage himself. I take that seriously. I don't put that responsibility on a lot of people because I have to look at, okay, what's happening with me? Am I stewarding my energy well? What's happening in my realm of stewardship that I'm discouraged? I'm very self-aware. And I always encourage women to be self-aware. When I'm encouraging them, I encourage them to be self-aware, to tell the truth, because when you start with the truth, then you can go anywhere. You can grow, you can grow from there.
Right. We have a question too. How do you cultivate leadership skills?
Oh, that's a good one. How do you cultivate leadership? That's loaded. Well, one thing you can do if you want to, if you want to be a leader, you can really look at effective leaders. Like you can look at, I'll just name somebody, and I'm just saying this, like John Maxwell, for example. You can read, you can look at great books of leaders and things like that. You can also look at leadership courses. I know with COVID, we may not be able to do as much as we want to in like the school system, university systems, but you can do a lot of things online. A lot of schools have innovated. They have leadership programs that you can look into, you can join. Also, you can even look at like SBA, Small Business Administration, because they have actual tools for people who are interested in leadership and starting businesses, being entrepreneurs, marketing, investors, all those types of things. So there are resources out there that you can use to take yourself to the next level. And, and again, I'm an avid reader, so I'm always looking at what's in the literature, what's happening in the world, and what's happening in leadership. So you can do all those things. And the internet is a great place to start, to look at that. Google, to find out what's going on and what's relevant.
Yes, that is so true. Yes, Dr. Google, Professor Google, whatever.
Google. I love Google. I love Dr. Google.
You can find it on Google. Yes, let's see there's another comment. Oh, self-awareness is so important. Yes, self-awareness is important. And I like the point that you said too about not just isolating yourself, like going off in a corner, backing off, but calling someone, having that accountability partner, and making sure that that person is, like you said, going to tell you the truth and not just going along, girl, okay,
Exactly.
Sundra, if balance is a thing, how do you balance? How do you balance your career, your personal life, and all the things that you have going on? How do you balance that?
Yeah, well, balance is a thing. It is a thing, and it's important that you look at balance in your life, especially when you have a lot of responsibility, a lot of things to juggle. Like you said, you have family, you have ministry. For me, I have family, ministry, I have companies, I have all things, leadership. I have the women's ministry, and it's important that for me, I bring in a lot of self-care when it comes to balance. And that's not always easy when you have a full plate and your plate is constantly growing, and your scope, what it calls scope creep, things are creeping in on you all the time, more things to do. But, I think it's important to have self-care. It's important to be able to say no to things. I love the empowered no. I'm a person who is very empowered in my no, because I need to have a certain time to rest, to rejuvenate, to make sure that I am well and thinking well so that I can deliver. How can I deliver if I'm not whole? One of the things I tell leaders when I speak, all over the country, I love the idea of put your mask on first. I fly a lot. And when you fly, one of the first things they tell you is if something happens to this airplane, put your mask on first. Don't you go dying trying to help somebody else, because you have about 15 seconds on a plane before you go unconscious. So they always want you to put your mask on first before you help your child or the elderly. So I think putting your mask on first, putting my mask on first is the way for me to balance, making sure I'm whole. Sundra is whole. I encourage our leaders, our women, to be whole, to take care of yourself. My dissertation was on self-care for leaders. I did a study on burnout because there's so much burnout with executives and women and business owners and C-suite leaders, those CEOs, COOs. There is burnout because sometimes we don't have that empowered no,
Right.
And sometimes we have to know when to say, I am not going to do that. This is not happening for me. You are not working for me. This is not working.
Yeah, that's right.
And I say yes to myself so that I can be strong and I can be powerful and I can deliver on all the things that God has given me to steward over.
Right. That is so good. Learn to say no. That's a powerful word. No. And I've learned that just recently. It took me a long time, but I did, because before you know it, as you were saying, we'll keep saying yes and things will creep in and our plate will just be like overflowing with things and it can just be overwhelming. We have a question. How do you maintain a culture within your women's ministry of motivating and sharpening each other without competing with each other? With others.
Yeah. I think, for us, I think it starts with our leadership, I'm there, we have a really great leadership team. And I think when you have women who are, again, one of our core values is women celebrated. So we don't lead with competition. We lead with pushing each other to be great and really walking in love and that commitment and support. So I think you create that culture and continue to cultivate that culture by celebration, self-care, support, making sure you are, again, that self-awareness that you're honest with things that are going on. If there's competition there, you need to communicate and deal with that, in your group, because that's important. Because those things do come up. Whoever gave that question, it's a great question, because those things do come up with women and with, pettiness and different things like that. But you have to know who you are. And I think I push our women to really be great, to know who they are and be unapologetic in that, It's like, I know who I am and I'm not going to apologize for that. So if I know who I am, then I don't need to be in competition with you or anybody. So that's what I would say. That I think those types of things would, really encourage a culture of love and grace.
Okay, yeah, that's good. Knowing who you are. Yes, we have a comment from our someone from our YouTube says, I still have a post. Let me show it here. I still have a post. It quote on my computer screen from Dr. Ryce. The difference between successful people and very successful people is the ability to say no. Yes.
Yes. Hey, Christine, the ability to say no, that empowered no. This does not work for me today or tomorrow. It's a no.
Exactly.
I may change my mind and then it'll be a yes. But for now, it's a no.
Yeah. And since we were talking a little bit about self-love and self-worth and just knowing who you are. Give us a couple of examples of what you do when you are practicing just some self-care. What are some things that you do for yourself?
Yeah. There's a scripture in Hebrews 4, and it talks about the power of rest. Like God gives us that rest. It's a place called rest. And, for me, one of the things I'm very cognizant of and aware of is that balance of When do I need to rest and take a selah, a breath? When do I need to breathe? When do I need to stop? When do I need to, say yes to me? And so one of the things I do is I really make sure I get enough rest. Sometimes we need to sleep a little bit more. We need to take a power nap, just to let our brains stop for a minute, stop running because we go here, there, and everywhere. Let our brains rest. One of my mentors over the years taught us years ago as entrepreneurs. He coaches high level entrepreneurs. Dan Sullivan. He said, one of the things you should really learn to do as an entrepreneur is get 24 hours of rest. No business books, no, YouTube. Just I'm checking out for 24 hours now. I know that sounds, some of you are like falling off your chairs, like most people who are up to big things do. But if you give yourself the opportunity and your brain to rest, when you come back off of that, you will be so surprised at how creativity will begin to ignite in different ways, and your innovation and your thoughts and your ideas, because God will be able to breathe through you as you're breathing. So rest, Jacquie, is one of the most important things that I do. And then I do other things like, I love to, do things for myself. And, I, like you, I probably don't do it enough, but, stop and get those, manicures or pedicures, go to the spa, go for a walk. I love to walk. I love to ride my bike. I love to get out in nature. So I make sure that my schedule, that is built in my schedule. I have a meditation time in the morning, and then I have a, time where I go and I'm either walking or at the gym and out in nature and just breathing the fresh air and, experiencing God in those beautiful ways. So those are some of the things that I do.
Yeah, that's good. And, I like how you said too, we have to be intentional with doing that, because if not, we will just keep going and going and going. So we have to put it in our schedule and be like, okay, I'm going to stop, do this, whether it's take a nap, take a walk, write in a journal, whatever it is that you need to do, then do it. Because I'm a journalist.
It's a practice. Yeah, it's a practice. It's a practice. It's a practice. I write a lot too. I love that, Jacquie. I write a lot too. I do that on a daily basis. I write, I journal, but it's a practice. You have to be intentional about it. Yeah,
exactly. Let's see here. We have a question. Whom or what is your biggest inspiration?
Oh, hey, Marina. Who or what is my biggest inspiration? That's a good one, Marina. I'm inspired. I'm actually inspired by powerful women and powerful people. I love to see people be great. And I love to see like greatness that has gone before me, like Dr. Maya Angelou. I love to like read and see, what they've accomplished, and Oprah Winfrey, all those people who have done amazing things. And then also, I'm really inspired by, God. I really am. I just like love my relationship with God. I love my relationship with the Holy Spirit. And it's just, because it's like you said, you can be discouraged, but you can get in a place of like worship or just gratitude, and you'll shift, in a moment, because, you'll usher in that inspiration, and so that's really my number one. And then I love seeing like powerful women, women who, and not just like Oprah Winfrey, but women who lead organizations like Coca-Cola. Like I love seeing that. Like, wow, how do you do that?
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Let's see. Another self-care. Okay, Brenda. She says hers is exercise. Oh, yes, she is.
Brenda. Yes.
She's on it. She'd be up at 5 o'clock.
So fabulous. Brenda's so fabulous.
I know. She is like on it. I'm like, okay, now I need to get myself together.
Me too. I'm adding that too, Brenda. That's going to be my self-care too. Just putting that as exercise.
Let's see here. Christine, love the fact that you are speaking about self-care. That's what I said I need to increase in 2022 and beyond. Thank you. Yes, that is, it is so important, because I think that we put that on the back burner because we're so busy just taking care of others and just going, that we just don't take care of ourselves. I just did a post the other day, and I was saying, that's just like when you run out of gas in your car. Like you have to put gas in
Right.
your car for your car to keep going. So
Yes, you
our
do.
bodies, we're the same way. We have to refuel ourselves, so we can keep going. That means
Yeah.
resting our body, resting our brain.
And what we eat and the food we eat and
Yes,
all that's another one, ladies. I know we may get comments on that. What we eat and
yeah.
everything we put in our bodies and how we love ourselves with our nutrition. Those
Yep.
are important things too. And to her point, one of the premises when I was working on my doctorate, and I really that was my area. It was about self-care. It was about leaders excelling and being well. And one of my questions that I would always ask when I would begin to do my work was, who takes care of the leader that takes care
Mm,
of everybody else?
yeah.
We take care of everybody else, but who takes care of us?
Yeah.
So that self-care piece is important because we are responsible for that, and we can do it. We're more than capable.
Yeah. That is so, so true. Yes. Oh, thank you so much, Michelle. Hebrews 4:9. So there remain a full and complete
There it
Sabbath
is.
rest
Yeah.
for the people of God. Yes, thank you so
Hey,
much.
Michelle, thank you for sharing that. Yes, that is one of my favorite scriptures. That's one I live on. The
Yeah,
Sabbath. Oh yes.
exactly. Okay, yep. Been vegan since October, Sandra. Very challenging, but still going. All right, Christine. Girl, let me
Wow.
tell you, Christine, I'm trying. Now, my daughter Layla has been vegan for almost 2 years.
Wow.
And so when I cook dinner, I have to make two different meals. Like
Wow.
she'll have all the vegetables, but if we're having meat, then I'll have to make some type of plant-based meat or just something different for her because she has not been eating meat. And she says she feels 100% better. Like so, yes.
That is amazing. I was on that journey once. I'm in Louisiana now, so I need to get delivered and be back on that journey because the food is so good here. But I'm asking God for deliverance and
Yeah,
healing and to set me free.
you do it, girl. Just keep on seeking.
Vegetarian, and everybody knows me. Christine knows me. She knows that. She knows my journey. But Christine, I
Yes,
need to
Christine
know.
said, what did she say? She said, I'll let you know when I
Yes, and you do feel amazing. You do, because a lot of times, like with the sugar content, the salt content,
Mhm.
all of those things affect. When you eat
Yeah.
a lot of salt, your brain swells and you're
Oh yeah.
foggy and you can't think clearly. And when you really look at, like you said, the plant-based diet or vegetarian, or just, and not that you have to be a vegetarian, but when you
Right.
look at what you're eating intentionally, there
Right.
too,
Right.
that is what is amazing as well.
It
Yeah.
is. And one thing I just thought about as you were talking, and we're going to wrap this up with the food, but I was thinking about that when we do the Daniel fast. When we do the
Yes.
Daniel fast, girl, for 21 days, we cut all of that stuff out.
Mhm.
And so after 21 days, it is a habit. So now,
Yes.
you know what I'm saying? And then when
Mhm.
the 21 days is over, we just seem like we just go back crazy again. I don't know. We just need deliverance. I don't know.
But
So
there's a reason, biblically, there's a reason why that fast is like a biblical fast, because it's like you're eating and you're really nourishing your mind, your body, and you're able to function. And again, I think our biggest takeaway from this is, how do we function? How do we want to function?
right,
Let's take it to the next level with our functioning, because our eating well, our exercising, our self-care, those are all things that help us function powerfully as women.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That is so good. That is so good. Oh my goodness, this is such a good conversation. But as we're wrapping up, as we're wrapping this up, Sandra, give us, what would you tell, not your past self, but what would you tell your future self? If you were to write yourself a letter, what would you say to yourself?
I would say, girl, go and be great. Be great. Unapologetically. Be great is what I would tell myself. Be
Yep.
great. Be fearless. Be the
Yep.
fearless leader that God has created you to be. Be
Mm-hmm.
powerful in everything that you do, and do not apologize for who you are, and do not apologize for what God has put in you and the gifts and the talents, because he's put that in you for such a time as this. And I would just encourage my own self, like I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
That you know what, and to be okay, and to be and to just accept the greatness, because we are made in the likeness and image of God. And another one of my favorite scriptures is Genesis 1 and 26 and 27, where God talks about, I've made you in my image, male and female. And I've given you dominion over everything. I've given you dominion. I've given you power. I've given you authority. So I would encourage my future self to go and be great, walk in it, just like God wants you to. Yeah. And just like God has given you the stewardship for. I would encourage myself in that way.
Yes. So y'all heard it. Encourage yourself. Go be great. And be great today too. But in your future self, be great.
Yes.
Go and do it. Dr. Sundra, it has been such a pleasure having you on our show on this evening. Tell us, let's see. Oh, hold on. I want to make sure I get all the comments. Let's see. Christine, from the moment I met Sundra, she spoke directly into my life and continues to do so, especially in my most sensitive times. Thank you. Oh, that was Christine. Thank you so much, Christine, for sharing that. That's good. Again, as Dr. Sundra said earlier, to have someone in your corner that can be there for you, to encourage you and along the way when you have those moments, because we all have those moments. We all go through, as long as we're living life, we're going to have some challenges.
We are. Yeah.
We need some people in our corner. With prayer, but we're going to need those people in our corners. And let's see here. Don said, be great and fearless leader. Yes, Don, be great and a fearless.
Hey, Don, my Sora Don. Hey.
Thank you so much, Don. Sundra is and always will be my mentor and very dear friend. God bless her. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much for all of the comments. Michelle from Michigan.
Michelle, yes.
Yes. Let's see. Oh, Cheska, this has been amazing. Thank you so much, Jacquie, for hosting a great show. Oh, thank you so much,
Jacquie. Yes.
Again, guys, thank you so much. Dr. Sundra, tell us how we can get in contact with you, as well as what can we do to help you in your ministry.
Well, you can get in contact with me. You can go to, I have a couple of websites. You can go to Dr. Sundra, Sundra, Ryce, RYCE.com, DrSundraRyce.com. And you can learn about all that I do, all things consulting and real estate development. And then I have a company, RyceDevelopment.com, RYCE, RyceDevelopment.com. You could also pick up my motivational CD, Confessions of an Incredible Life, on iTunes or Apple Music. It's called Confessions of an Incredible Life because it is not about my incredible life, but it's about the incredible life that you are living or about to live or stepping into. Especially, it's a great motivational CD when you're up to big things. So you can pick that up on iTunes or Apple Music. And then our women's ministry is thojwomensministry.org. thojwomensministry.org if you want to check us out and see what we're doing at the House of Judah in Baton Rouge in this region. We're up to some great things. We're doing some big things. And how you help me is, continue to pray for me, lift me up, support me. I am so excited and I'm so honored to be able to do what I do. I love what I do. I love what I do professionally. I love what I do in ministry, and I've just been blessed to be in this realm. So as long as you keep me lifted, and those of you who know me, give me an encouraging word. I love encouraging words too. I love to give encouragement, but you can always give me a text and shout out. A lot of times people are like, you're so busy, but I'm really never too busy to hear from the people I love in my life. So again, love to hear from you. You can reach me on social media, and also you can reach me by our website, DrSundraRyce.com. So love you all. I'm so glad to be here. Thank you so much, Jacquie. You are fabulous, as I said.
You're so welcome. And listen, guys, I have been to her women's website, ministry's website, and they have a lot going on. So y'all go over, check it out, see what they have going on, and maybe go surprise them at one of their events. I was thinking about that. So, hey, you never know. We just might pop up. So,
Yes,
so
we
yeah,
love that.
check them out on their website. Again, Dr. Sundra, thank you so much for being here. Love you much,
You're
um,
welcome.
and appreciate you. And we have just a couple of announcements, and we will be done. So, Dr. Sandra, thank you so much. Thank you for everyone that tuned in. And we are just going to show our women entrepreneurs again that we would love for you guys to support these ladies. They are doing some wonderful things. I always like to try to spotlight women entrepreneurs that are changing lives. Like they are literally impacting lives, their families, people in their communities, and they are doing a great job at it. So I'm going to show you some of our people here. All right. We have Miss Sophie. Sophie, she is the owner of Chick Ink. And Chick Ink, she makes all handmade alcohol ink homewares. Y'all, they are absolutely beautiful. She has coasters, she has trays, she has artwork. Really, really nice. She is on Instagram at Chick_Ink. And she has an Etsy shop, which is Chick Ink Art. So y'all check out Sophie. She has some amazing things. And then Dr. Sherry. Dr. Sherry, she is an independent brand partner for Savvy Activewear. Very comfortable activewear. You can work out in it. They have things that you can wear to work. So you have to check them out. I don't know if y'all saw a couple of posts I had just recently with the little blue hoodie. That's part of her line. Really, really nice. Her website is savvy.com/we are savvy. That's SAVVI. And then Anara Gourmet Foods. Anara Gourmet Foods, this is Indian spices. So if you love Indian food and you were like, I really can't make my own at home, Anara Gourmet Foods, they have the seasoning packets for you. It's all gluten-free, all natural. Her Facebook and Instagram is Anara Gourmet Foods, and her website is anaragourmetfoods.com. Then we have Glow by Jacquie O. It's me, your girl, Jacquie O. And we have an organic skincare line, all things for your face. We have cleanser, toner, serum, and moisturizers. We have calming butters, beard oils, and cuticle serum. So you can check us out at JacquieO.com. You can find us on Instagram and YouTube at Jacquie O, and our Facebook is Jacquie O Blog. So guys, thank you again so much for tuning in tonight. It has been an amazing night. Great questions, great interaction. Thank y'all so much. Again, thank you to Dr. Sandra. We will be back on next month, April the 4th at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, live again on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. And we will be talking to Miss Delia Mims. Miss Delia Mims, she is the Democratic chair here in Denton County. And so we're super excited to be chatting with her. But until next month, we will see you then. We pray that you have an amazing rest of your week. And you guys, remember what Dr. Sandra said, go be great and take care of yourself with self-care. We'll see you then.